second plus week was second. So welcome to the Town of Annapolis Royal Committee of the Whole meeting for April 2nd, 2025. It's being 6 p.m. I'd like to call the meeting to order. I'll start with the public notice. We have a member of the public present. Today's meeting is being streamed live on the Town of Annapolis Royal YouTube channel. To those present in the gallery today, by attending a public meeting of the council, you are consenting to having your image, voice, and comments recorded. Anyone who is invited to speak will be recorded, and their voice, image, and comments will form part of the live stream. The chair and/or the CAO have the discretion and authority at any time to direct the termination or interruption of live stream. Such direction will only be given in exceptional circumstances when deemed relevant. So I would like to hand over now to Amory for a special topic.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. We have an announcement to make. So we have lost Elder Agnes Madeline Potter of Bear River, Madeline Potter Nepicdu. And I will read briefly from the announcement from her obituary. So this came from her obituary. With heavy hearts, we announce the passing of Agnes Madeline Potter on March 27, 2025 at Yarmouth Hospital. Born on October 26, 1939 in Digby, Nova Scotia, Agnes gracefully walked this earth for 85 years, spending her life in Bear River, where she built a legacy of love, strength, dedication to her family, culture, and community. She dedicated 30 years to working in food services within the Department of National Defense, forging strong friendships and bonds with colleagues and family along the way. Beyond her career, she was a devoted advocate for Indigenous rights, actively involved in her community of Bear River First Nation as a special spiritual elder, the Native Council of Nova Scotia, and Native Women's Association of Nova Scotia. She was appointed Elder of the East and traveled to Ottawa to represent her community and province, as well as serving on the Elders Advisory Council in Debert and Truro. Agnes will be remembered for her kindness, her wisdom, humility, fairness, and steadfast devotion to her family and community. Her spirit and legacy will live on in the hearts of all who are blessed to know her. May she always be the light in our night sky and the warm, gentle breeze that hugs us. Donations may be made to the YFIF, care of Bear River First Nation. And of course, Elder Agnes was the mother of Carol E. Potter, existing chief. Thank you.
All members of council are present. There be no regrets or absence. Are there any additions to the agenda? That being said, then I will consider the agenda approved. Are there any conflicts of interest to be disclosed?
Yes, I will be, I'd like to declare a conflict of interest for item 11.3. I'm a close relative.
You'll step out of the room during that time. Great, thank you. Acknowledged. All right, so now, are there any comments or addition to the Committee of the Whole minutes from March 3rd, 2025? I'm assuming it says 2024. Are there any comments or additions? No. Okay, we'll consider those minutes adopted. We had anticipated a presentation from a member of the public, but the person has not presented themselves, so we'll move on. Amory, you said you wanted to.
I do. I think it's important, even if our CAO never likes to be acknowledged in public. Sometimes we just have to do it. So there is a certificate of recognition from council presented to Sandy Millett Campbell in recognition of 20 years of outstanding service in various roles. Thank you. Most recently as Chief Administrative Officer for the Town of Annapolis Royal, February 2004, April 2025. It is a significant achievement. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will give this certificate to Kim as instructed.
So we're now at the part of the agenda that allows for public input. Is there anyone who would like to give any public input?
What? No input?
Great, so now we'll move on to the new business. So the operating budget. And I believe we need a motion to discuss that.
No, we'll let Melanie go through the.
So you want me to share my screen? Are you ready for me to share my screen and I'll go through the budget? So can everyone see that?
You have to make it a lot bigger.
Okay. How's that?
A little bit bigger. There we go.
Okay. So this budget has a 6% or 6-cent rate increase across the board. It encompasses a new fire rate charge that will be broken out, but it was always part of our tax rate. I'll just go through it. The grants in lieu, we get that from Nova Scotia Power for 1 more year, and that's just over 400,000. Criminal record checks, we expect to carry on with those at 50,000. The deed transfer, we've budgeted the deed transfer at 85,000, which is conservative. The 5-year average is just under 120,000, but better to be safe than sorry. For grants this year, we're going to have the Tree Canada, a canopy grant. We also have the Tourist Ambassador Grant in $13,000. The MIP marketing, we still have some remainder of that we'll be spending of 21,000 and a carryover of the civil forfeiture grant of 10,000. Gives us a total of 3,033,000. For the expenses, we have money set aside for the wharf, for some engineering to decide what we can do with the wharf and some repairs to the wharf. We have a $9,000 medic budget. We have the police answering services going up to 12,000. That's a substantial increase. We have some heat pumps going in at Town Hall, some painting of the exterior of Town Hall. The Public Works shop building will be painted. We have patch paving of just over 93,000 throughout the town. We have in the Public Works, we have budgeted for another person to come on stream, a seasonal person from May until October. We have some money in for King's Transit, more than what we usually put in. Our garbage collection fees are down slightly from last year. That's due to the Annapolis, the County of Annapolis rejoining the Valley Waste. Our insurance costs have gone down slightly, and that's due to a joint tender that went out between the County of Annapolis and the towns of Middleton and Annapolis Royal. We have some money in for some prep work for some new charging stations for the electric vehicles. The condo fees have increased overall for our share of the condo at the Academy. It's increased by 10%. That leaves us with $51,166 in condo fees for the gym, the hub, and the library. Council is choosing to send almost all of the Nova Scotia Power money over to capital for future use. It's probably the highest I've ever seen it. It's at 375, and that's money that's transferred from operating over to capital for future use. And when we get to the CMHC, this is the last year you're going to see that debt expires this year. That's the last year. And throughout this budget, there's money for occupational health and safety throughout the whole budget. We come to the end at 3,033,000, so it's a flat budget. Are there any questions?
None from me.
I just like to acknowledge the hard work on the part of the town staff to bring in as many grants as possible to help make sure we have a balanced budget, and the hard work in terms of finding unique solutions to problems that save us money all the time. They work very hard to make us as efficient as possible, and I think that's why we can see a budget that's good like this.
We have a motion.
Are you ready for a motion then?
Is that the first one here?
Yeah.
Okay, I move to recommend to council to approve the $3,033,675 town operating budget for 2025-2026 with tax rates at $1.76 and $3.26 respectively for residential and commercial. A new fire rate will be added that was formerly included in the overall tax rate. The new rate for 2025-2026 will be set at 0.001042 and will be broken out on the tax bills moving forward.
Second, please.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Just
Oh,
a
sorry.
question, just a question, I'm sorry.
Should have asked if there was discussion.
Sorry, but the new fire rate, as I understood it, is included in the 176 and 326?
Yes, it
It
is.
can also be broken out? Yes, okay, thank you. Just wanted to make that clear. Okay.
Are we ready for the vote now? All in favor? Great, so Melanie will pass back to you for the capital budget then.
Okay. I will share my screen for that now. And can you see that?
Not yet.
Well, paper plane.
If I make it bigger, it distorts it, so I think, well, I'll try.
It's an attachment in our
There's
packet.
no changes from the package, right?
No,
Yeah, so
no,
I mean,
no.
I got
This one's
a-
on further. We've looked at it a lot, on.
Yeah. So I'll just briefly describe it for the audience, people listening. We are going to complete the playground renovations. There's going to be some heat pumps at Public Works. There's a sewer camera, a spare sewer pump, and computerized crosswalks. We've received, or we are going to receive $880,100 from local leadership for climate adaptation over 2 years. And we're just waiting on the contract for the details of that. We also have, in conjunction with that, $41,976 in FRIP money, flood risk. And we're going to do the tower and the town Wi-Fi at 20,000. The total budget is 1,337,627, of which the town share is 259,328,000. Are there any questions?
So just to make it really clear that means there's 977,750 that comes from external funding sources. A large part of that is grants that we successfully.
Yes,
Right.
that's the rest of that. The 977,715 is all grants.
And there's a potential for more to come, but not confirmed.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Good. Any other questions or comments? Right, can I have a motion then, please?
Okay. I move to recommend to council to approve the 2025-2026 general capital budget of $1,337,627.
Second.
Are we ready to take the vote, or do people want more comment? No, okay. Can I have the vote then? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, so then,
You just have to sit in the podium.
Thank you very much, everyone.
yeah, thank you very much, Melanie, for all the hard work and being patient with all of our very
Thank you
extensive
so
and
much.
detailed questions over the last few weeks. We appreciate the support sincerely.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Melanie.
Okay. We will now move on to the salary administration policy and note that Councilor Myers has recused herself from the discussion. So you'll
Yeah, so in your agenda package, there's a request for proposal. Staff have worked hard to bring in a new salary administration with a good merits policy. Looking to implement it as of April 1st. I'm not sure if there's any other questions. It was in the package for
Just a
review.
bit of clarification under benefits. It clearly outlines salary ranges for all employees. And it facilitates recruitment and retention. And the only other comment is under CAO review. The CAO assigns the starting points on the scale according to education, work experience, relevant skills for new hires, which is stated in the policy. So these are just little points on them.
And then we'll also determine, like, for the first year where everybody lands.
Right.
On the scale, because we're not all gonna start at level one.
Right, and you
First year.
pointed that out, that you need to place people the closest that they fit.
any other comments? Questions?
I just think it's great to be able to bring us in line with a more modernized way of approaching the salary ranges. It just creates so much more fairness and so much more uniformity across the board. And I do think it will really help with the recruitment process.
I hope so. Not that we need to recruit.
No, but
No,
if we-
future individual
so much
in
of
every area of the world, that's
Yeah.
getting more and more difficult all the
Yeah.
time.
And
So.
especially for a small unit like ours, so
Yeah.
this is really good to see.
All right, any other questions or comments? Can I have a motion, please?
I move to recommend to council to approve the salary administration policy number 2025-09 dated April 2025.
And then we'll second that.
Okay, do we want any more discussion? Take a vote then, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimously carried. Well, welcome Councillor Myers back to the table. So now we'll move on to unfinished business. Sorry. Yeah, anyways. So we've got a request for a decision before us on the Environmental Advisory Committee policy. Do you wanna explain it a little, Sally, or?
Sure, so at the last meeting in March, we had a number of representatives that would like to sit on the Environment Advisory Committee, but the policy was specific to the numbers. So council has suggested that staff update policy, so we've moved it to shall be members between members of 5 and 8. And 1 member of council and 1 from Clean Annapolis River Project. So that is the only change, is just to increase the number.
Do I have any questions or comments? May I have a motion?
I move to recommend to council to repeal the Environmental Advisory Committee policy number 2024-02 and replace with the Environment Advisory Committee policy 2025-07 dated April 2025.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? We'll take the vote then, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimously carried. So the next piece of unfinished business is appoint a new member to Environmental Advisory Committee. So
And
there's,
so since the policy is going forward next month, I thought it just, instead of wasting a month, that we would slide them together.
Forward. Yeah, okay, I can make this recommendation. I recommend to, goodness gracious, now I can't talk. I recommend to council to appoint Mariah Robertson to the Environment Advisory Committee for a term of 2 years until December 31st, 2026.
a seconder, please.
I'll second.
Any discussion required? We'll take the vote then, all in favor, unanimously carried. Alright, so we'll now need to move into camera, so can I have a motion?
Correspondence.
Oh, correspondence, I'm sorry, I was skipping ahead, don't I? I took the wrong thing, okay. Under correspondence, we have a letter to mayors and wardens on the code of conduct. The letter basically outlines the hard work that was put together by NSFM and AMANS to make sure we have a viable code of conduct that makes sense and protects both citizens, councillors in the province, and the fact that we all need to train and sign off on it, and that we're making good progress to that. So just an acknowledgement that we received that letter. The second letter is a thank you letter from the Annapolis West Education Center. We wanted to acknowledge the thanks from the students who came, and Mayor Boye and the town crier, gave them an introduction to town hall and showed them around and explained to them lots of interesting stuff about what town hall is all about. So they sent us a lovely thank you letter, and we were very happy to have them here and welcome having young people be present in the town hall. You want to add anything, Ingrid?
Just the fact that when you held the twinning committee, just this week,
Yes,
you had 3 students, young people, express an interest.
yeah.
So we seem to be making inroads with our relationship with the school, which is really
It's wonderful.
good.
Yeah.
That's
So thank you.
letter.
Yeah.
Good,
it's a
nice,
really
they
nice
all,
letter.
the ones that sign, the little hearts. and,
Maybe pros that at least they know we're here.
Yeah.
And we know they're there, and yeah.
And they know that they're welcome here.
Yeah.
That's important.
All right, so if that topic is completed now, I will ask for someone to move us to go into camera and to come out of camera.